Let me tell you, keeping chickens healthy doesn't have to be complicated. I used to think it was all about fancy feed and expensive gadgets, but then I learned about the Amish way. They keep it simple, and it works. Believe me, after years of visiting Amish communities and talking with families, I've seen their self-sufficient methods outshine modern technology. It all starts with providing the chickens with a clean and well-ventilated environment, which goes a long way in keeping disease at bay. For the Amish, prevention starts with the coop. Cleanliness is their first line of defense against disease, and they take this seriously. Chicken coops are meticulously maintained to be dry and well-ventilated, which is crucial for preventing the buildup of harmful bacteria and ammonia from chicken droppings. Ammonia buildup caused by the decomposition of chicken waste can damage the respiratory systems of chickens, making them more vulnerable to diseases like coccidiosis and infectious bronchitis. To combat this, Amish farmers ensure that the coop is always dry and well ventilated. They achieve this by designing coops with plenty of natural airflow, often through screened windows or adjustable ventilation flaps. One Amish farmer explained that he uses weatherproof curtains to help control airflow in different seasons. In the summer, the curtains are rolled up to let in fresh air, while in the winter, they're lowered to keep the cold out while still allowing enough air circulation to avoid moisture buildup. How to apply this yourself? Improve ventilation with simple fixes like adding windows or using slatted vents. Even basic airflow makes a big difference in chicken health. In line with their philosophy of sustainable living, the Amish often use a method called deep litter composting to manage chicken waste. Instead of regularly cleaning out the coop entirely, they layer fresh bedding like straw or hay on top of old waste. This bedding not only absorbs moisture, but it also starts to decompose, generating heat and reducing harmful bacteria. As the bedding and waste break down, they create a naturally composting layer that warms the coop during colder months. The composting process produces beneficial bacteria that actually help fight off pathogens that might otherwise make chickens sick. However, the key to success with this method is regular maintenance. Amish farmers periodically turn over the bedding to keep it aerated and prevent compaction, which would otherwise create a breeding ground for harmful bacteria. What's even better is that at the end of the season, the fully composted litter can be used as fertilizer for crops, completing the natural cycle of sustainability. Add layers of fresh straw or bedding and turn it regularly. Over time, it naturally breaks down and helps keep your coop warm and clean. Another crucial piece of the puzzle: letting chickens roam. Amish farmers give their chickens plenty of space to wander, peck, and forage, which keeps them healthier. When chickens are stuck in overcrowded coops, stress kicks in, and a stressed chicken is more likely to get sick. Free-range chickens, on the other hand, benefit from fresh air, exercise, and natural foraging, all of which strengthen their immune systems. By rotating their chickens between different fields, Amish farmers prevent the buildup of waste and parasites in one spot. This method, known as pasture rotation, ensures the flock always has access to fresh ground. It's simple, effective, and keeps the chicken's environment as healthy as possible. If your space is limited, rotate chickens between different parts of the yard to give them fresh ground and reduce the risk of illness. One Amish farmer I met in Ohio starts his day at dawn, heading out to the coop to let the chickens out to roam. He explained that every morning he sweeps the coop, adds fresh straw to the bedding, and opens up the windows to let in some air. It's all about prevention, he said. You can't let things get dirty or the chickens will get sick. It's a simple philosophy, but one that works wonders. Nutrition is a huge deal for the Amish, and they've mastered the art of using natural diets and supplements to keep their chickens thriving. No artificial additives, just simple, time-tested methods. Let's start with the basics: a healthy diet. The Amish stick to what's natural: corn, soybeans, and grains, grown right on their own farms. These aren't the processed feeds you find in stores. This is real, whole food. Chickens that eat whole grains get all the right nutrients, proteins, and fats they need to stay strong and disease-resistant. It's like giving your chickens a wholesome, home-cooked meal instead of fast food every day. But here's the best part. Many Amish chickens are pasture-fed, meaning they roam around and forage for bugs, worms, and fresh grass. This variety keeps their diet balanced and gives their immune systems a natural boost. Think of it like letting your kids play outside in the dirt. Builds up their defenses, right? Try feeding your chickens whole grains and giving them access to a variety of fresh food like insects and grass. It's a simple way to boost their health naturally. Here's where things get really interesting. Instead of using antibiotics or vaccines, Amish farmers turn to herbs. Yes, herbs. Garlic, oregano, and thyme aren't just for your Sunday roast. They're powerful natural remedies for chickens. Oregano, for example, is a fantastic immune booster, while garlic helps prevent respiratory issues. One Amish farmer told me that he swears by adding a touch of garlic water to his chicken's drinking supply. No sniffles, no problems, he said with a grin. And it makes sense. Garlic has been used for centuries for its antimicrobial properties, and it works just as well for chickens as it does for humans. Start with small amounts of garlic or oregano in their feed or water. Your chickens will thank you, and you'll cut down on those pesky vet visits. Another secret weapon the Amish use is apple cider vinegar. It's simple but powerful stuff. A splash of this vinegar in the chicken's water helps with digestion and keeps their gut healthy. A healthy gut means fewer diseases. Pretty cool, right? It's also an easy way to keep the water clean and free of harmful bacteria. Adding vinegar might sound too simple to be effective, but it's one of those, why didn't I think of that? Tricks that works wonders. The acidity helps balance the chicken's pH levels, preventing digestive issues and boosting their overall health. Just add a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar to a gallon of water a couple of times a week. It's a small step that goes a long way in keeping your flock healthy. Just like we rely on probiotics to keep our digestive systems in check, Amish chickens get their own dose of these beneficial bacteria. Probiotics help maintain a balanced gut, which means fewer harmful bacteria can take hold. By keeping their digestive systems strong, Amish farmers can avoid the common illnesses that come from weakened immunity. And let's be real, who wouldn't want a happy, healthy chicken? Balanced gut health means the chickens absorb more nutrients from their food, and a stronger immune system means less chance of disease spreading through the flock. You can easily mix a little probiotic powder into your chicken's feed once a week, or even try giving them plain yogurt. It's a simple, natural boost that'll keep your chickens in top shape. Now that we've covered how the Amish use natural nutrition to keep their chickens healthy, let's talk about something a little less obvious but just as important: stress management. Believe it or not, just like us, chickens can get stressed out, and when they do, their immune systems weaken, making them more vulnerable to illness. Amish farmers have long recognized this and developed ways to keep their flock calm, happy, and healthy. Imagine being crammed into a tiny space with a bunch of other people, nowhere to move, and constantly having to fight for food. Sounds stressful, right? Chickens feel the same way when they're overcrowded. Amish farmers avoid this by making sure their chickens have plenty of space to roam. The more room they have, the less likely they are to fight, and the healthier they stay. It's like giving them a breather from the stress that can weaken their immune systems and lead to illness. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. Amish farmers don't just stop at providing space, they make sure that free range and rotational grazing are part of their routine. When chickens are rotated through different areas, it's like moving them to a new vacation spot every few weeks. This prevents the ground from becoming overgrazed and keeps parasites from building up. It also gives the chickens new scenery to explore, keeping them engaged. Think about it. Wouldn't you get bored staying in one place all the time? The Amish believe their chickens shouldn't have to either. Plus, this practice helps the land as well. By rotating the flock, the pasture has time to recover and grow back naturally, which supports better long-term sustainability. Chickens get a fresh environment and the land stays healthy. It's a system that benefits both the flock and the farm as a whole. If you don't have acres of land, no problem. Even small backyard setups can benefit from rotating chickens between different parts of the yard. Move their coop every few weeks, or set up a few portable fences to give them fresh ground to explore. This change will reduce stress and improve their overall health by keeping the environment clean and interesting. Chickens are social animals, and the Amish understand the importance of maintaining a healthy flock dynamic. Keeping the flock calm means paying attention to their pecking order and making sure there's no bullying going on. Yes, chickens have their own social hierarchy, and if things get out of balance, the stress can cause the weaker chickens to fall ill. You've got the alpha hens, who naturally dominate, and the more submissive birds, and that balance needs to be maintained. Amish farmers are careful not to disrupt this delicate social order. When they need to introduce new chickens to the flock, they do it gradually, never overwhelming the established group. Overcrowding the coop or adding too many new birds at once can lead to squabbles and stress, which is why the Amish are so mindful of maintaining peace in the coop. They also keep a close eye on the flock to prevent any bird from becoming overly aggressive. When introducing new chickens, do it gradually. Give the new birds time to adjust and make sure they have enough space to establish their place in the pecking order without causing chaos. This helps prevent unnecessary stress and keeps everyone healthy. Amish farmers also have a few tricks up their sleeves when it comes to calming their flock. One of their favorite go-tos? Herbs. They'll often add calming herbs like chamomile and lavender to the bedding, or even mix it into the feed. These herbs not only help relax the chickens, but also have some mild antibacterial properties. So, it's a 2-for-1, reducing stress while keeping infections at bay. Another stress buster the Amish rely on is routine. It turns out chickens thrive on consistency, much like humans do. Amish farmers stick to a regular schedule for feeding, cleaning the coop, and letting the chickens out to forage. This predictability creates a calm environment, and a calm chicken is a healthy chicken. In fact, some Amish farmers have told stories of their chickens getting vocal if things are running behind schedule. They really do notice. Try adding a bit of chamomile or lavender to your chicken's environment to help them relax. You can also make sure to stick to a regular schedule for feeding and cleaning to keep things predictable and stress-free. Alright, so we've covered prevention, nutrition, stress management, and how to give your chickens plenty of space to roam. But there's one last challenge every chicken owner faces. Parasites. Yep, those tiny pests can wreak havoc on your flock if you're not careful. While many modern farmers rely on chemicals to handle them, the Amish stick to natural solutions that have stood the test of time, and they've got some pretty clever tricks up their sleeves. Let's start with one of the Amish's go-to tools for pest control, diatomaceous earth. Now, I know what you're thinking. What on earth is that? Diatomaceous earth, or DE, is a fine powder made from the fossilized remains of tiny aquatic organisms. Sounds fancy, but it's incredibly simple and effective. When sprinkled in chicken coops, it works like a charm to keep parasites like mites and lice away. The way it works is pretty cool. DE has sharp, microscopic edges that cut through the exoskeletons of parasites, causing them to dry out and die. But don't worry, it's perfectly safe for your chickens. Think of it as nature's version of pest control. The Amish mix it into their bedding, dust it around nesting boxes, and even sprinkle it on the chickens themselves. It's one of those little-known tricks they've been using for generations, and the results speak for themselves. No chemicals, no fuss, just good, clean pest control. But here's the bonus. DE also helps keep the coop dry by absorbing moisture, which makes the environment even less appealing to pests. It's like a 1-2 punch. Parasites don't stand a chance. Use food-grade DE and lightly sprinkle it in the coop bedding, nests, and dust bathing areas. You can even dust your chickens by lightly sprinkling it on their feathers to prevent mites and lice. Just be careful not to create too much dust when applying it. The Amish don't just rely on products, they let their chickens take care of some of the pest control themselves. Chickens are natural foragers, and when you let them free range, they'll gobble up all kinds of bugs and pests that might otherwise cause problems. This includes ticks, fleas, and even some types of larvae that could harm your flock. It's like having a built-in pest control squad right in your yard. The more space you give them, the more they'll explore, peck, and take care of any creeping critters in their path. It's as though the chickens become their own defense system, working to keep pests away while getting fresh air and exercise at the same time. What's even more amazing is that allowing chickens to roam freely isn't just about pest control. It's also an essential part of keeping them mentally and physically stimulated. Chickens that get to scratch and peck outside are much less likely to develop stress-related issues or aggressive behaviors that can happen in confined spaces. Plus, foraging increases their access to natural proteins, like insects, which can't be replicated in store-bought feed. Their diet is more diverse, which means healthier chickens with stronger immune systems. Talk about a win-win. If you have the space, let your chickens roam freely for a few hours each day. Even just an hour or two of foraging can help control pests, provide exercise, and give them a natural boost of nutrients from their surroundings. Of course, it wouldn't be an Amish approach without the use of herbs. Amish farmers frequently use herbs like mint, wormwood, and lavender to deter pests in a natural way. These herbs have strong scents that many pests hate, so they work as a natural repellent, and hey, they smell great too. Mint, for example, is often planted around coops to keep rodents away. Meanwhile, wormwood and lavender can be mixed into bedding or hung in bundles inside the coop to repel mites and lice. It's a gentle, chemical-free way to keep your flock healthy, and it makes the coop smell pretty nice too. Try planting some mint around your coop or adding dried herbs like lavender to your chicken's bedding. You can also hang small bundles of herbs inside the coop for a natural aromatic defense against pests. I once visited an Amish farm where the chickens were running wild. Well, not literally, but they had full access to a wide, open field. The farmer chuckled as he watched them scratch and peck around for bugs. "They're better than any pesticide I could buy," he said. And it was true. These chickens were doing what they were born to do, keeping themselves healthy while helping control pests in the process. No chemicals, no stress, just nature doing its thing. It's this kind of straightforward, practical wisdom that makes Amish farming so effective. They don't overcomplicate things. They just trust in what's natural and have been doing it this way for generations. If these Amish techniques inspired you, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Let me know in the comments which one you will try.